Hi. Okay, so I'm hopping on here to tell you guys about a recent listing where most people thought I was crazy. So if you follow me on here, you saw about a week and a half ago, I signed a listing agreement for 10 days. That's all I asked for from the seller. Most of the time we signed them for at least 6 months. So this tells you how confident I was, how crazy I might have been. But, I talked to the seller. Story is that's as long as he was willing to give me to not cost himself another opportunity. So this is a seller who was on the market before with another agent for 60 days and had no offers come in. They ended up taking it off the market. So that's how I found out about him and started talking to him. And when I connected with him, I found out that he already had someone who was ready to go, ready to lease the property from him, which was going to allow him and his wife to take their next opportunity into their new location, their new home that they wanted to make. So I analyzed the market for him, looked into all of our options, what was going on, figured out what was happening the last time they were on the market so I could really figure out the best strategy if we were going to still get this sold. And I went back to him and I told him everything that we needed to do in order to get the property sold for him and asked him essentially if he could give me 10 days since this tenant was already approved and ready to go. I could have him an offer by July 5th. So I got him a 10-day listing agreement. I got it under contract in 4 days. And that way I wasn't costing him the opportunity with his tenant, but still had his main goal of selling in mind. And he even gave me that opportunity because his main goal was to sell, was to get the money from the proceeds. And I did need to explain to him, and he allowed me that opportunity to do so, of what leasing actually meant. So in the short term, it seems like a quick fix, getting my mortgage covered, maybe cash flowing a little bit every month. But this isn't someone who wants to be an investor. This isn't someone who has multiple investment properties. He's wanting to sell this for the equity in it to eventually help him go purchase his next home and do a few other things in his life that him and his wife are wanting to do right now, which they're going to be able to do now. And I let him know, that getting it leased out really actually kind of pigeonholes him. And the reason why is this is not a property where the margins when we go to sell make sense for an investor to want to buy from what it could be cash flowing, the rent ratio, anything like that really doesn't make sense. So he's really going to be pigeonholed until their lease is up. About 60 days or so, probably before their lease is up, is when he could go back on the market to try and sell again, because most likely it's not going to sell while the tenants are in place. While that is logically it can happen, right? You can sell a home while it's tenant occupied, the lease just transfers. Because this doesn't make a great investment for future investors, it's really going to limit that pool of buyers, and no owner-occupant buyer can actually go and purchase this and stand to wait 8 months, 10 months. The contract won't even allow it before this home is something that they can move into. Plus, that's just not the average person's situation where they've got that time to wait. So when he heard that, and when he knew I had a way to not cost him the tenant he currently had lined up, he was willing to give me a shot. So he listened to everything I had to say. I really went and analyzed the market to figure out exactly what our pricing strategy would be, what our marketing strategy would be, exactly where we needed to position him for the most exposure to go on the market. And we went on the market. And in fact, we even got pushed back a day because of a photography mess up, actually kind of upon their request. So I only had 9 days to sell this, and we got it under contract in 4. I got crazy looks from my team when I signed this. I did a poll here on Instagram, and 2/3 of you said I was crazy for signing a listing agreement for only 10 days. Because if a lot of you know, as a traditional real estate agent, we front all of that upfront risk. The money, the resources, everything that goes to getting something ready on the market with full power behind it. So the fact that I was only giving myself 10 days, I was really risking a lot of resources for potential no reward, but I'm highly incentivized to do my job and to do it well. And we got them under contract. Offer came in late last night and we executed today. So of course we still have some more hurdles to get through, and I'll tell you more of the story when we get to closing. But he and his family are so happy. It's allowing so much opportunity for them. So I appreciate them giving me opportunity so much, but this is why you need an agent who has the experience, has the skill level. I didn't just bluff this out of my ass, essentially. I'm just going to say it on there. This was real thought and analytics that went behind me being so confident about what it is that I do, betting on myself essentially, my resources, skills, knowledge of the market, strategy to sell, in order to get it done. And I got the craziest looks on my team because I was playing with their money. But you know what? We did it. And so I'm super excited. He's thrilled. Talked to him today. And he said, you were just so calm for those first 3 days, Elizabeth. And I'm sitting over here freaking out and you weren't sweating at all. And look at you, you went and did it. So I'm just so grateful and so excited that we were able to do that. That was a big risk that I took. But if you're looking to sell, we have so many stories like this where we're able to help homeowners who were unsuccessful in the past. I don't always do them in 10 days, nor do I open my mouth and say that I can, but I was really confident on this one. And it was the right move to make, to do everything possible to get his main goal, which was getting the home sold without costing the opportunity of that tenant, if that's what needed to happen for him and his family. But if you're a homeowner who's considered selling or you've been let down in the past, I would love the opportunity to at least talk to you, because that's where I can give him major credit. He wasn't majorly scorned by what happened in the past, but he was ultimately let down. 60 days with no offers. No risk, no reward. I don't know why they're sideways. That's why I'm reading it. Thank you. He was willing to listen to me on what my experience had been when someone leases out their property and how that can be really difficult to sell it in the future. He was really willing to listen to what me and my team can do in order to get the home sold, what I was basing my entire plan off of. And that made sense. It was facts over feelings. And that was really helpful to him in trusting me and allowing me to have that opportunity to get his home sold. So signed a listing agreement for 10 days, got it under contract in 4. If you guys are an agent and you want to know how I do sell as many homes as I do, I'd love to connect with you. If you're a homeowner or a seller, reach out to me, let me know. Everything really is no obligation consultation, because if I can't help you, I'm going to tell you for some reason I can't help you, or I'm going to tell you who I can connect you with who can, so that neither of us are in an uphill battle. So thanks for listening.